So I'm back, and it's been a while, and only because I want to say I've been busy with work, but I have like, it's not reader's block because I'm enjoying reading, but I've just picked up so many different hobbies and I don't know what to do about all of them, because right now I'm like working out, and I'm also like, my friends and I, like the book club, we got into coloring books as well, so now I'm coloring, and I've like kind of shifted my reading time from 8:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. and I'm starting to use that reading time for coloring, and now I'm like struggling to balance all of it. So I'm finally getting back on track with my reading. I'm like I have to work out a different timetable, otherwise I'm not going to finish my books on time. So that's where it is right now. And obviously I've got work as well, and I've been working on a new project, so that kind of has taken up all my time, and assignments have also kind of taken up my time, and I hate assignments. I hate group assignments. I think I can do the group assignment by myself, which is why I hate group assignments. So here I am with my overdue book review because of those things. And the last video I made, obviously I said I was going to be reading this book. It's Dina Jeffries' book, The Tea Planter's Wife. And I was really interested in this book because I read Before the Rains by Dina Jeffries, and that was a really good book in terms of I don't like the social aspects of it, and the kind of things that she kind of wrote about were things that really appealed to me. So I was like, you know what, let me get the other book as well. And this one surprisingly was also had certain social issues, but this book, let me just start from the very beginning. This is a book that's set in the 1920s to 1930s, so right before World War One, and sorry, World War Two, and this is based on old Sri Lanka, which is called Ceylon, and obviously I'm Sri Lankan, so I know a bit of the history that's going on. And yeah, so basically this 19-year-old girl, Gwen, she she fell in love at first sight, and she kind of moved away to Sri Lanka at the time to be with her husband, who is a tea planter. He's a tea planter, he's got his own estate and all of that kind of stuff in Nurelia. And now she goes and she kind of is trying to get used to this life, and she runs into a bit of hurdles, like to do with marriage, to do with adjusting to the people there, because obviously she's grown up in England, now she's moving to a country where it's all colored people, so she's kind of trying to figure her way out. But what you can see from her as a person is she's a very wholesome individual. She doesn't see race, she doesn't see color, she sees people who need help, people who need education, she's very kind to children, all of those kinds of things, and she's a very outstanding citizen. She's unfortunately quite young, so she's quite naive, and as a 19-year-old, any 19-year-old, she is put into situations that she doesn't know what to do, because she's never been in this kind of situation before. She doesn't have the support system of her parents, and she's gotten herself into a whole heap of trouble. And it's only like when you read it later and later, you find out like there's been so many lies in this whole book, and it's basically a power struggle, because she doesn't know what to do, she doesn't know what to say. These people aren't her own people, like as in the house is run by her husband obviously, and he knows everything, he knows the people, these are his people, so she can't rely on anyone other than herself, so she can't open up. And what it comes to, like, I have to spoil the whole book for it to actually like make sense. So she gets pregnant, and she's now expecting twins. The doctor says it's twins, she says it's twins, and on the day of like delivery, it's just her and her husband's like caretaker. And what happens is she has her first baby. He's white, looks just like the dad. The second child is brown. She's brown. Like, I think she's my brown. And that's where she gets kind of confused, because she had like a bit of a mishap earlier where she was drunk and she was helped up by a guy, and he was Sri Lankan. And so she thought he took advantage of her, and throughout the whole book, like, she was so angry at this. Is like, how could this happen to me, how could this happen to me, how could one baby come out white, one baby come out brown? And no, she had no issues that the baby was brown, but she had an issue thinking, what will happen to me if my husband thinks I have been unfaithful and I now have a brown child? I will be like kicked out of this house, I will lose access to my only other child, and all these kinds of stuff. And she gives up her daughter, she gives it to someone to raise. And like, she's like torn with this guilt throughout the whole kind of like a whole, like 3 or 4 years, she's like torn up with guilt. And I've made a few notes, like, one thing I didn't like about this book. So basically that's the gist of it, and then like it kind of unravels and you figure out how like this baby is brown and there's no rape, there's no adultery, none of that happened. This is just based on lineage, and it's not from her side, it's from her husband's side. He has a bit of Sri Lankan in him. Who knew? He knew because his previous child was also brown. So, but anyway, this book, for the author, I'm just a little disappointed, because now I've read a few books where there's a lot of colored people. It's like Lucinda Riley, another author that I read regularly, she wrote about an Aboriginal main character, and the way she described the color of the skin was exquisite. Dina Jeffries, at any given chance she gets, she has compared brown skin to food. She has compared it on so many different occasions, and I've marked it. I don't know if I can pull one out just out of thin air now, but at one point she had compared it to milky dark coffee, saffron, I'm going to say chocolate as well, who knows. She's called it exotic, and which is fair, because back in the olden days this is how people probably saw us. Yeah, but it's always just the way that dark skin is described in so many books, and how people like see the comparison of, okay, his clothes were immaculate, a dark suit and white shirt that shone against the colorless skin. Seriously? I wish there were there are so many other ways to describe colored skin. Food is probably not a great comparison. The skin color can be compared to the color of the earth. God, there's wood. I don't even mind being compared to wood. But why is there always something edible? Is what I want to know. Yeah, look. Dark milky coffee. Imagine reading that and you are the color of dark milky coffee. What the hell does that even mean? But anyway, so that was the book. I don't know if I can give this a very high rating, just because of how I felt like reading it, and also because the story was like here, but the character development of, I think, Gwen was the best. I hated one of the characters, Verity. That was the sister-in-law. Oh, she was psychotic. But I guess that adds depth to the book as well. But I thought that was quite unnecessary to be that cruel to one person. Yeah. Overall, it's like a 5 out of 10. And I feel like the depiction and the names of Sri Lankan characters are very badly done. I still have yet to I don't know if it's the names during that time or whatever, but like some of the names didn't make sense to me as a Sri Lankan. Oh, Which brings me to my next book. I'm actually more excited on reading than that one. And this is Lucinda Riley's 5th installment of the Seven Sisters series, and it is called The Moon Sister, and it is based on Tiggy. And now Tiggy, from what I know, is supposed to be very spiritual, very like she's working on a farm that I think it was reindeer or elk of some sort. I can't remember from the other books, but this is pretty much what was going on from the previous 4 books, that from the accounts of the other girls. And so I'm actually quite excited to read this one because Lucinda Riley usually gets her books spot on. I can't say that for the last book I just read, which it's actually just making me really angry to think about it, but it's fine, it's gone, it's out. And so we have this one I'm excited to read, and I will try to get my review up for this by next week, but I have work for the next 3-4 days, so 6 days, wait, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 days I have work. So here we go. And I still have yet to do my November review, like my TBR, which I'm actually gonna do today. I have time today, I'm gonna get it done. Yeah. Okay, stay tuned. Bye.